Our brand new cycle of basic space lands is now available for purchase at www.itresolvesmtg.com. What's going on, guys? Welcome to part 2 with this Jeskai cycling deck, which I just realized is spelled wrong within our client. That's okay. That's like the second time that's happened. We always spell something wrong. I'm terrible at spelling. Anyway, welcome. How you doing? Hanging out with us. I hope you saw part 1. If you did, you saw us lose every single game. We're going to try and avoid that this time. Unfortunately, we really didn't get there last time. That's okay. Not going to, of course, every single time, but hopefully we can at least get a win this time. That'd be nice. I do recommend still that you do check that video out. At the very least, you can kind of see the deck list and why we did what we did. I'm going to go ahead and take the opportunity to get Improbable Alliance down. Next turn, we can like either Flourishing Fox or Healer and then just cycle something away, hopefully. But we'll see. The Healer, I'm a little less inclined to really keep. Yeah, let's do this. And let's do this. And then let's go ahead and just cycle this away. Gets us a little 1/1 and gets us, of course, a counter on the Fox. So now we're getting a little extra value every single time. And this is what I like about this deck, is there seems to be a lot of added value to this list that other Jeskai or other cycling lists don't necessarily have. So we will see. Stinger's not bad either. Let's go ahead. Let's drop that out. Let's go ahead and cycle this Fox. Get a damage, get a 1/1, and get a counter. So now we've kind of got a nice little engine piece going on, which I do really like. Let's go ahead and deck thin, honestly. I think that might be the correct thing here. We need to get cyclers or playable cards out as much as possible. And we'll get our second blue, I suppose. It's not going to matter too much here. We've got pretty much all the mana we need. We'll just attack in with the 1/1. If they want to attack in here, that's kind of fine. Oh, they have a Gilded Goose. Duh. But that's okay. Maybe they think we have a trick. Cool. That's fine. Bit of a missed play on the attack, but that's fine. It's not really game ending yet. So we'll see. Yeah, I hope you guys have some awesome weekend plans going on. I'm kind of excited because my fiance and I, wow, main deck Garuda. Okay, cool. They got another Garuda. Okay, I'm in. I see it. How much do we care about this though? What are they gonna take? Oh, Andrae's Forerunners is very sweet. But it doesn't really do him all that much good right now. Okay, another Garuda makes sense. Interesting. I don't really know how good this version of it is. Oh, they got Thassa. Well, that's pretty good. They just took a Stinger? Why wouldn't you take a Thassa? Thassa's like a million times better. That seems like just kind of wrong. Let's play this. Let's play this Stinger out. Let's do this. This way, anytime we ping, we also gain a life, which is really cool. We're gonna attack for 2 in the air. Look at that. Pinging them down. I don't know. This, like, main deck Garuda, we actually played a Reanimator list kind of like this. I don't know how good it is, though, if I'm honest. I mean, it certainly seems really sweet, but, like, I'm not 100% sold. I also don't get why they took Stinger over Thassa. That seems like a misplay. Like 100%. Did they get much? They didn't really, did they? And get a healer. Paradise Druid, sure. That's not all that great. Ominous Seas, huh? Let's do this first. Let's give the other Stinger lifelink. Just so we're gaining now 2 life every time we cycle. That's pretty good. Should have played this out first. That's a bit of a mistake. Just to have an insurance plan going. Let's go ahead and cycle again. We'll pay 2 and we'll cycle again. Ooh, now we just have a win. 2, 3. Yeah, I was gonna say we just kind of attack all, right? And then we hopefully get there. All right, cool. Guys, we got a win. Finally. we finally got a win. And we ranked up to tier 2 gold. Look at us go. All right, let's jump into game 2. Interesting. So that's what this deck is really wanting to do. Unfortunately, we haven't seen that until now. So that is what it is. But we will hopefully get to see it at least 1 or 2 more times. That would be amazing. It's great to get Improbable Alliance down like super early. Just because it's a little bit trickier to interact with on the opponent's side. Like they can bounce a token. But that really doesn't seem all that great. We'll keep... and we'll go ahead and lean on the cliffs here. A little unsure where we need to start, if I'm honest. Let's do this. Let's actually play out the Ominous Seas first. We're just trying something different. Normally we'd play out something like the Stinger or the Rescuer. Let's just be different. Let's try something else and see how this works. Colossification deck. Okay. Well, that's going to be super fun, he says jokingly. Let's play out a Rescuer. Classification is such an annoying card. This deck is just silly. Be great to have a... Interesting. Yeah, I know it sucks to have that on the field for a while, but it is what it is. Let's play out this. Let's do this. Land is helpful. We'll wait on that, actually. So we can cycle on their turn. Okay. So this way we get extra 1/1s. I always remembered making that misplay a lot when initially playing this deck, so trying not to do that now. And we're very much on the go wide plan. We'll block this now, just so they're not continuously looting. Wow. Okay. Well, that hurts for sure. Excuse me. Let's do this. We'll take a red, I think. So now, are we more on the Ominous Seas plan, or are we more on the Stinger plan, is my question. Let's do this. And let's cycle this away. We're going to draw an extra card thanks to Rielle here, which is amazing because now we can do this. And now, you know, at the end of their turn, we can always put out the 8/8. We also just have Zenith Flare, so worth noting that we also just have a really big dude coming. Okay, but chances are now they just win, like, immediately, right? If they've got the fling in hand, they just win. I'm assuming they have the fling in hand. This deck is really silly. We played this one as well. Yep, there you go. You got it. Just for the sake of doing it. Yeah, we got our 8/8. Okay, so I actually think that wasn't as terrible a match or a game, excuse me, as some of our past ones. I think we played it out pretty well. That Storm's Wrath was pretty backbreaking, but I don't actually think that. I mean, it's just a combo deck. You either get there or you don't, and they got there. So that's fine. Let's jump into our last game with this list. And then we'll kind of sum up our thoughts. We'll talk about the deck a little bit more. Obviously, I've got some opinions now that we've played a little bit more of it that I'd love to share. So, do we keep this hand? It's a Luris deck, huh? They mulliganed. This is a bit of a slow hand. I'm gonna also mulligan. This seems better to me. What do we put back? I want to put the Zenith Flare back. As much as I love Zenith Flare, I'm gonna throw that one back and we'll see what we can get here. Swiftwater Cliffs, huh? Let's Temple first. We'll keep that actually. We need an untapped land on 3, and so this does give us that option. So we're gonna keep that. Speaking of guild gates also, oh, this is interesting. I just wanted to say I was looking at some lists yesterday actually, and one list that we played up against at one point very recently, but also one that I keep seeing is the Gates deck, because it's still played every once in a while. I'd be interested. Would that be something you guys are interested in seeing? If so, I think we could play it, and it'd be actually really, really fun. If not, that's totally fine. I just didn't know, if you guys are interested or not. Let's play out the Pyromancer here. We're in setup mode. Next turn, we can Shark Typhoon, ping something down for 3, and get a 1/1. We kind of have to hope that the Pyromancer lives, but that would put us in a very good standing right now. We can get rid of that Cruel Celebrant in particular, which is going to be a very frustrating card. That's fine. I don't really care about that. I care mostly about the Cruel Celebrant at the moment. Perfect. Let's do this. Let's go ahead and pull a land here. We'll get a second blue. Since we've got 2 of everything else, we'll do that. Go ahead and Shark Typhoon for 2. This just gets us something else on the field as well, that can kind of trade off for some stuff. And then, of course, we get to nuke for 3 and get a 1/1. So that's actually quite nice. And I get this. They're just getting value while they can. So I'm totally in for that. But we have to get rid of the Cruel Celebrant before it goes crazy. That card is backbreaking. And we don't have our healer out or anything like that to kind of mitigate some of that damage. So we definitely have to get rid of it. Kind of in the camp of cycling away. I don't really want to cycle away the Rescuer so much. But if we need to, we need to. I'm going to try and do this. They can give it indestructible if they want, but it doesn't look like they want to. That was an interesting attack. Okay. I'm all for trading off 1 for 1 right now, as much as we can. In this case, let's play this. This just gives us another access to attack on, essentially. We're going to cycle away the Ominous Seas. So we get a 1/1, 2 1/1s really, and we get to ping something down, which is very good. We kind of have to target this, right? Because they're just going to sacrifice. And that's totally fine, but now they have no creatures to actually do anything with. Let me see something really quick. Draw your second turn. Okay. We'll let this enter tapped then. We can attack for 1 here. It's not amazing, but it's something. All right. We'll see what we can do. Mire Triton. That's actually okay. I don't care that much about that. Again, we just get to Pyromancer stuff away pretty quickly here. what would be great is if we can get the Pyromancer, if we can get enough cycling cards to cycle once on our turn and then twice on the opponent's turn, we get into a position where we can really, really start mowing down their board. I'm kind of all too happy to do this. Again, just if they want to sacrifice, they can sacrifice. It's a 2-for-1 for us, but we're getting the value regardless, so it really doesn't matter. That is fine. Another Rescuer and a Stinger. I think we do need to get the Stinger out, for sure. Let's cycle this, though. We need to start dealing some damage to him. Get rid of this Mire Triton and get this. Alright. Let's gain a life, because we definitely need to. We'll attack in. I don't know why I attacked with the Pyromancer. That was kind of silly. Alright. Feeling okay about our board. Lurrus makes this a little bit weird, so we'll certainly see. Yeah. Sure. Zenith Flare. So we do get to do both here. We're going to kill this, it's going to come back, and then we get to Zenith Flare it. There we go. Not going to attack with the Pyromancer this time. All right. All right. I'm feeling pretty good now. I feel like we're doing it. This is what we were looking to do the whole time, and it's finally happening. Daxos is slightly annoying. Although it's really not terrible. That's kind of terrible. I guess we get to do this though. Discard a mountain, that's fine. You just kill that. Play that out. Okay. And then let's do this. They can block one and that's fine. They get their little 1/1, but we still got 4 damage in and dealt with one of their threats. So I'm feeling okay about that. Sure. This is kind of just a not great Orzhov deck, actually. It's interesting, but like they're using a lot of kind of silly cards that I wouldn't necessarily think are very good. Yeah, okay. I was gonna say we had the win in like 2 or 3 different ways. Okay, so thoughts so far on this deck. First of all, it is a bit of a middle ground deck in comparison to the very all-in kind of Boros style. Which is, you know, Flourishing Foxes, Healers, Stingers, and then Rescuers, and then just tons of Cyclers. We have a little bit less volume of Cyclers, and so we didn't get to see, I mean, we saw even there, we were running out of things that we could do in terms of cycling and stuff like that. Where it makes up for that, and this is where the Izzet version of the Cyclers deck kind of comes in, is stuff with Improbable Alliance, where you have kind of built-in looting on the field. I like that this one is a bit of a middle ground, but I do think that the deck suffers in speed because of that, and that's generally the case. I don't think that that's unlikely or unexpected by any means. But what I will say is because of the difference or the middle ground kind of nature of this one, you've got a lot of different little engines that get to happen. And when you get like 1 or 2 of those online, you all of a sudden really can start to take over. And we saw that there. You know, we had Rescuer, Improbable Alliance, as well as the Pyromancer. All 3 of those, and a Stinger, honestly, at one point. So we had 4 really, really key cards on the field, and now added value to every single card that we drew that had cycling on it, especially. Because, you know, any Cycler was now turning into a 1/1 on the ground, a 1/1 in the air, 3 damage to anything, and then 1 damage to the opponent. And so you really get a lot of value, like truly a lot of value, if you can get those engines up. I think where this deck struggles is to get those engines up sometimes. Obviously, when you're trying to do a lot of different things, that's going to happen. The good thing about it is when you do have so many different ones, you can kind of play to the strength of your hand. So if you've got the Improbable Alliance early, try and play it out. If you've got the Ominous Seas early, which we really didn't get to see the Ominous Seas as much, but if you've got that early, play that out. Also, know your matchup. If you're against a very aggressive deck, chances are Ominous Seas, as great as an 8/8 will be, you're probably not going to make it there unless you've just got tons and tons of Cyclers, which, again, this deck has a lower volume of, so that's much less likely than some of the other styles of this deck. I think the Pyromancer, I might run more of those. That card is way too good. Rielle, while cool, didn't really seem all that strong. It was great to be able to draw a couple extra cards, and it did help us trigger the Ominous Seas in one game, but it felt a bit slow. I think I would almost rather just have a couple Cyclers, to be honest, or an extra Pyromancer or something. So I think there's some changes I would make to this list, but I do enjoy just kind of looking at, you know, some middle ground options and to see what mixing those two styles of decks comes into. I could have very easily played a lot of these games incorrectly, so if I did, let me know in the comments section. I'm happy to, you know, take fault where needed, but I do think that this was a fun list. We finally got to see it do its thing a couple times, actually, and that's really, when it works, it feels awesome. So that's kind of my takeaway with this one. Do I recommend it? I think it's fun to try, but I don't necessarily think it's a tier 1 list. Definitely not a tier 1 list, in my opinion. So if you like Cyclers, I would give it a shot. Just see. It's not like it's crazy expensive to make on the wild card end of things, so definitely worth a shot. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Please make sure to stay tuned tomorrow for our giveaway winner announcement. We will have a dedicated video on it just to make sure that we're appeasing everybody on this one, but that will be out. So thank you guys so much. I will see you very, very soon with the giveaway winner announcement. Thanks again.